Boomer Sooner, everybody. I think you guys know me. I'm Harry James. This week's game, white on white, baby. Wear your white out for the homecoming game between the Sooners and the South Carolina Gamecocks. The parade festivities will all take place, by the way, on Friday night, not Saturday morning. We'll explain why that later. Also, we'll explain this Sooner Stumper part of it. As we talked about the two teams' programs, by the way, never met, but both coaches have been in Norman on the home sidelines, by the way, and coached in 10 of the 13 championships in recent Sooner history. Who are these two coaches? And the series between South Carolina and Oklahoma. Talk about all that and more next, right here, 1982 Boomer Sooner. You know what to do. Don't touch that dial. Do not go away. Boomer Sooner, everybody. Think you guys know me. I'm Harry James. All right. Well, the two programs have never met, but both coaches have coached in Norman as assistants. The two assistants combined for 10 of the 13 Big 12 championships. Who are they? Well, Brent Venables had a couple of them. Brent is the current head coach at Oklahoma and was the defense coordinator from 2019 or 1999. I'm sorry, to 2011, when he left for Clemson, South Carolina. Now is the head coach at Oklahoma, back in Norman. And of course, the other assistant, Shane Beamer, at Oklahoma as an assistant, 18 to 2018 to 2020, and is now the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks. All right. Series record between the two programs. We already talked about this in the preset. 0-0. These two teams have never met. So the wins and losses, non-applicable. No wins for South Carolina. No losses for South Carolina. No wins for Oklahoma. No losses for Oklahoma. Very easy. Pre-game festivities in Norman nights in Norman on game days. The Sports Animal WWLS is at O'Connell's. That is on Campus Corner. Also on Campus Corner is the Ref's pregame. The Ref is at Balfour Norman, right across from Campus Corner. O'Connell's on Campus Corner. Cannot miss it that way. And then you get up the street to the stadium, and just north of the stadium is the franchise. We're at that same place, north of the stadium at the Party at the Palace. The OU pregame starts. 3 hours, I believe now, before the game begins. This time, that game that we're talking about will take place Saturday, October 19th, kickoff set for 11:45-ish on the SEC Network. You don't want to listen to the SEC Network and those homers, you want to listen to your own homers, easily do that. Tune into the radio for Toby Rowland will be on the play-by-play call. He also calls basketball and baseball games for the Sooners, and is his own show on the Ref from 6 to 9 Monday through Friday. His sideline analyst for the last couple of years has been and still is Teddy Lehman, sports a Ref voice from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday, and is one half of the Oklahoma Breakdown. The other half of the Oklahoma Breakdown, Gabe Eichert. Also, along that, from his side job, his normal job, Big 12 Today, Sirius XM 375 from 3 to 5, Monday through Friday. And the main sideline guy, Chris Plank, Ref from 9 to 11, Monday through Friday, and Fox Sports Radio from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the weekends. The team is called the Oklahoma Sooners. Their head coach, Brent Venables, 1992 grad from Kansas State, third year in charge of Oklahoma. Overall, in 32 games, has a 20-12 overall record. That's a 62.5% winning clip. And 21 games has an 11-10 overall record for a 52.3 winning percentage in 21 games. 0-2 in bowl games. Championship history since 2000 for the Sooners. 8 divisional championships. 2000, 02, 03, 04, 6, 7, 8, and 10. And qualified for 4 more once the Big 12 reinitiated the Big 12, re-stamped the Big 12 and brought the championship game back. Won it in 17, 18, 19, and 20. Overall, guys, that is 13 overall championships for the Sooners. 2000, 02, 04, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now, the one back in 12, they did tie with Kansas State that year for the championship. Kansas State went on as the Big 12 championship representative in the BCS. 2023 was a good year for the Sooners. 10-3, 7-2 in Big 12 play. Tied with Oklahoma State for the conference's third best record. Oklahoma State beat them. So that sent Oklahoma to the Alamo Bowl, where they lost to Arizona 38-24 in the Alamo Bowl to Arizona, who at the time was part of the Pac-12 Atlantic Division. Finished third place out there, though, in their conference last year. They're now, of course, in the Big 12. Speaking of this year for 2024, 4-2 for Oklahoma, but 1-2 in conference play. They did beat Temple 51-3, Houston 16-12, and Tulane 34-19. Oklahoma then lost 25-10 to Tennessee. They got back on track at Auburn 27-21, but then 34-3 loss Texas, sent them back to the 4-2 and 1-2 overall record. All right, so there's that. Let's see where they rank offensively and defensively. Offensively, Oklahoma averages just about 24.3 points per ball game and 287.7 yards per ball game. While defensively, they surrender 19.0 points per ball game and 337.8 yards defensively is what they surrender per ball game for Oklahoma. Now the left side of the coin, the South Carolina Gamecocks. Their head coach, Shane Beamer, 1995 grad with his daddy at Virginia Tech, Frank Beamer. Coach Shane, though, since 2021 has been at South Carolina as their head coach. In 43 games, by the way, he has a 23-21 overall record, 53.5% winning clip. And conference play, 11-17, 28 games, 39.3% winning clip, and 1-1 in bowl games, 50% winning clip. Conference championship history since 2000, just one divisional championship way back in 2010. No conference titles. 2023, though, met a 5-7 overall record for South Carolina, with a 3-5 overall record in the SEC. That was sixth best in the East Division. Their best win last year was a 17-14 win over Kentucky in the SEC. For 2023, they are at 3-3 right now, 1-3 in conference play. They did take care of Old Dominion, 23-10. They then won at Kentucky, 31-6. They then lost to LSU, 36-33. They then won against Akron, 50-7, and lost to Ole Miss, 27-3 last week. 2 weeks ago, I should say, before losing to Alabama last week by 2 points, 27-25. Ranking offensively and defensively for South Carolina averages about 27.5 points per ball game, and 362.3 yards per ball game is what they play with. while surrendering about 20.3 yards points per ball game and 299.5 yards per ball game for the Gamecocks of South Carolina. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week for that one. Next week should be fun, guys. Ole Miss. Heading to that one. Looking for y'all out there. I'll be staying out in Memphis. All right, guys, until then, I'm out of here. Boomer Sooner, guys. See y'all in a few days. And for the next preview, till then, peace.